Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're jumping right in to deconstruct a really specific, absolutely critical framework for modern entrepreneurs. We are talking about a precise, step-by-step guide to running an ethical online business. It's a fascinating subject because it bridges the gap between this hyper-fast digital commerce world and deeply held traditional values. If you've ever found yourself wondering how on earth you're supposed to navigate the modern digital economy without completely compromising your ethical boundaries, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break down this framework, look at what it actually means, who it's for, and why it's a total game changer in today's market.
Okay, so let's kick things off with a fundamental question that drives this whole thing. How do you sell online ethically? I mean, it sounds simple enough, right? But when you actually start looking under the hood at the mechanics of the internet, it gets incredibly complex really fast. The internet has basically erased borders and put transactions on hyperspeed. But honestly, that's created a landscape where it is so easy to lose sight of where your products are coming from, how fair your contracts actually are, and how transparent your sales process is. This question right here is the ultimate driving force behind everything we're unpacking today.
Section 1. The e-commerce landscape. To really get this, we first have to wrap our heads around the immense scale and complexity of the modern digital economy. That's exactly what makes ethical compliance so tough. We're not just talking about putting up a digital storefront, we're dealing with hyper-fast, fully automated global supply chains and instant payment gateways. Millions of transactions are happening in literally fractions of a second. The sheer speed of e-commerce can easily blur those ethical lines. Sure, it's an industry full of massive opportunity, but navigating those structural complexities requires some seriously careful footwork if you want to keep your integrity intact.
Section 2. Defining halal dropshipping.
So, the core focus of our source text tackles the very specific friction between standard dropshipping models and halal principles. Think about it. Standard dropshipping basically relies on selling goods that you don't even physically possess or own at the point of sale. Now, under Islamic commercial law, that introduces a highly problematic element known as gharar, or uncertainty. You are essentially transacting on a risk you don't fully control. This framework specifically steps in to solve that exact logistical and religious challenge. It structures the entire process from picking the products to signing supplier contracts so it becomes completely permissible and ethical under Islamic law. It's essentially taking a highly modern supply chain strategy and rigorously applying traditional ethical filters to scrub out all that inherent uncertainty.
Section 3. The USA market focus.
The source explicitly targets business operations in the USA. And let me tell you, navigating the complexities of the American market throws some really specific curveballs at halal businesses. The U.S. operates within a deeply entrenched, interest-based credit ecosystem. That poses immediate, serious risks when it comes to riba, or usury. On top of that, you've got an incredibly competitive environment driven by aggressive advertising standards and an absolute maze of state-by-state taxation rules. Doing business ethically is hard enough, right? But maintaining strict halal compliance while actively competing in one of the most aggressive capitalist markets in the world, that requires a highly specialized approach. The geographical context dictates the strategy just as much as the core concept itself.
Section 4. Avoiding haram practices. Look, there is a massive difference between just selling products online and doing it without haram practices. The foundational rule here is totally uncompromising. In dropshipping, avoiding haram practices goes way beyond just, not selling prohibited items like alcohol or shady financial products. It dictates the actual mechanics of how you sell. For example, it means strictly throwing out deceptive marketing tactics. You know those fake countdown timers that create false scarcity? Yeah, those are gone. It means ensuring that your supplier contracts don't hide sneaky fees or exploit any operational loopholes. It demands complete transparency about what the customer is buying. It's really a total overhaul of the standard online selling playbook to guarantee that every single transaction is fundamentally fair.
Finally, Section 5. The step-by-step approach.
You absolutely cannot just dive into halal dropshipping blind. The ethical and financial risks are just way too high. That's exactly why the methodology presented in our source is rigidly sequential. In this framework, skipping a step isn't just a tiny business mistake, it's an ethical failure. You literally have to vet a supplier's practices completely before you ever even think about marketing their product. You must thoroughly verify the product's compliance before hooking up your payment gateway. By breaking down this massive ethical challenge into a structured step-by-step methodology, it turns an overwhelming concept into an actionable, realistic business plan. It's all about protecting you, the entrepreneur, from accidental non-compliance.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, we have to turn the focus back to you. We've explored the massive e-commerce landscape, the specific hurdles of halal dropshipping in the US market, and why a step-by-step approach is absolutely non-negotiable. But the ultimate takeaway from this source text is deeply personal. It actively challenges that tired old narrative that business is just about the bottom line. So I'm going to leave you with this final, crucial thought for your own online business ventures, whatever they might be. Are your e-commerce practices truly aligning with your values? It's definitely a question worth asking before you make your next sale. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and keep building with integrity.